to Cozy-Rozy is on hashtag Team JoJo Week 3, Dose 2. I was actually talking to a friend of mine, and she's like, Chad needs to die. And I said, that's a bit harsh. I have my rolling pin here because I'm filming later in the day than I usually do. And like when I watch scary things, I prefer to watch them in the daytime. That way I can feel safe. But it's later in the day, and so I have my rolling pin here, and it's nice, and it's solid wood, and it's like older than I am. This is my mommy's rolling pin that I took from her when I moved out. So I have my rolling pin to keep me safe, and we've seen previews. We've seen previews of Chad kicking over the floaty flamingo in the pool. Like, shit's gonna go down, you guys. It's gonna go down. And everybody has a rolling pin or a baseball bat or something. I hope you do, because Chad is scary as fuck. The memory is a funny thing, and we can't, when we tell stories about ourselves, we can't see ourselves as villains. Even if the things we do hurt other people, we can't see that we could potentially be a villain. I'm just pretty much done with Chad. I'm also done with Evan, because I've been thinking about it. Like at the group date in the last episode, he makes JoJo choose. He tells JoJo that she should choose between him and Chad, and she pulls him aside to give him the group date rose as a way of saying, like, respect my decision. I want both of you here. And he takes the rose and then goes behind her back and talks to Chris Harrison about Chad being violent. Dude, stick the landing. If you say out loud that you can't stay there, if Chad is still there, then when she gives you the rose and says respect my decision, you know, having both of them there, you would say, I'm sorry, I can't accept the rose, I'm leaving, because I cannot live with Chad, and he's a mean nasty. And he might not realize he's a mean nasty. He might not have that self-awareness, but I don't feel safe hanging out with somebody who doesn't have the self-awareness, you know, to combat their mean nastiness. I just don't. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. To Derek, who, let's face it, is a blue-eyed version of John Krasinski. So he's like, all right, go on, smile. Chad comes back in after JoJo leaves to talk specifically to Derek. He's like, I don't know what guy like me stole your girlfriend. Which, dude, the sexist undertones of those psycholinguistics, come on. And Derek actually points it out, that, like, what guy like you stole my girlfriend, like, stuff like that, like, all these, like, misogynist comments that you make, and Chad's reaction isn't, what misogynist wasn't to double check what misogynist thing he said, that way he could correct himself, correct his behavior, whatever. His reaction was, that's none of your business. Which, you know, any guy in that house, it is kind of going to be your psycholinguistics revealing misogynist tendencies is going to be everybody's business, because everybody in that house is there for JoJo and there to help JoJo find true love. And everybody's hoping they're the true love, but they're all like, you know, if it's not me, let it not be some misogynist, homophobic, fun-hating jerk face, you know? I have a rolling pin and I'm not afraid to use it. I don't want to have to use it, but I'm not afraid to use it. The only way you really stop drama is by calmly addressing the issue, talking it out, being open to the possibility that you're wrong, looking at it from other people's angle, giving them the opportunity to look at it from your angle and to really dissect where you're coming from, taking the time to really dissect where they're coming from. I mean, it's a whole really in-depth conversation in order to understand everything, because drama comes from uncertainty and being scared and being defensive. It's not from people talking, it's from people not talking that things get so much more stressful. In a play, the most dramatic thing is what doesn't get said in a play. And that's true in life too. And so the more you silence something, the more you're building the tension, and the worse you're making it for yourself. So that's a tip for everybody, not just Chad. It's if you don't want drama in your life, then you need to examine a situation from every possible angle on your own and in a civil discourse with the other people involved. So So, but rolling pins are good in case somebody decides to get physical. Sometimes, like, if the other, like you, if you have the rolling pin, don't you start anything. But if somebody else starts something, you're ready to finish that shit. You know, you know, I don't like being violent, but I will defend myself. You know, you know, you know. He actually said, "Do you think I won't go out of my way to track you down, like to come to your house?" Like he said that. Like that's how a stalker talks. That's how somebody mean nasty, threatens people. And then he's like, there's in the preview, he's telling Alex like, the only way to shut your mouth is to punch you in it. It's like, no, dude, we've been over this. Violence is not the answer. Violence is how you defend yourself when someone comes at you physically, not when someone comes at you verbally. When someone comes at you verbally, you slow down, you quiet down, you think every angle through, and you discuss every angle through. Like, go through every point with, like the Socratic method or some shit. Or Descartes' tenets for critical thinking. Or, 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 or Daniel Dennett's 4 rules for a successful critical commentary. Yeah, but you don't punch people. Like there are so many resources out there just like that step you through how to really think things through that you don't need to get physical. You don't need to get violent. Heroes don't go out of their way. They follow the course. They follow the course. Villains go out of their way because they just have so many feelings. They have so many feelings and they don't know how to deal with them verbally, so they deal with them physically. And that means going out of their way to beat people up. Something to consider if you've ever gone out of your way to beat somebody up. Like, really think through your decisions. Really think through the mental processes that led you there, buddy. Yeah. Dude, that do not give somebody that ultimatum if you are not willing to stick the landing. No giving ultimatums unless you're willing to stick the landing. That's just rude, and it makes you wishy-washy. It takes away your staying power, and it's just like don't if you're not going to stick the landing, don't give people ultimatums in the first place, because ultimatums in and of themselves are rude as fuck. So yeah, and I know instantly that it's gonna be the mush, like line of dogs in front of the sled situation. Librarians are really friggin' great, and Ray Bradbury, the writer, he did not go to college. Nope, he went to his public library and just studied whatever the hell he wanted, and it fed right into his writing, and I just love that. I just love that. And he was like a super smart science fiction writer guy. And he actually referred to science fiction as technological fairy tales, not like actual science fiction. And he just referred to all of his work as being fairy tales that, dealt with technology. And I love that. I love that. A self-educated man who loved fairy tales. And all of that because libraries are a thing, and librarians run them. And so thank you, librarians. You are awesome. And I think it's important during weird shows like The Bachelorette to take a break and remember society's true heroes, the people who teach us, and in this case, librarians, because they're cool. He literally says, "Don't poke a Chad bear." I try to say things from Chad's perspective, but Chad is threatening people. He is threatening people. I can't agree to like someone who's threatening people. Don't think that as a grown man, you can't throw temper tantrums. My own dad, he threw a temper tantrum for like 15 minutes once because I said I was cooking him broccoli. Broccoli! And he flipped his shit. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can do, childish things, throw a temper tantrum, and childlike things. Have fun and believe in magic and hugs and love, because magic is free for everyone. And now I want nachos, which aren't really an option. Damn it. I don't watch a lot of football. I'm gonna be honest, but go Seahawks, dude. Dude, if somebody says you need stitches, go get the friggin' stitches. And like you go and you get stitches. You go and you get stitches immediately. And like if you need stitches, you go get some freaking stitches. That's one of those things that if you call yourself the name, you're not that thing. Like if you call yourself a dark horse, you're not a dark horse. If you call yourself a knight in shining armor, you're not a knight in shining armor. There's just certain, like, you give yourself, there are certain names you just can't give yourself. They can only like really be applied and be truthful when somebody else is applying them to you. You know? That's how oppression works. You're just trying to silence people, and silence is not the answer. We have talked about this. Silence does not undo drama. Understanding where the drama comes from and working away from the drama by looking at its causes and preventing those causes from reoccurring is how you fight drama. But silence does not stop drama. It doesn't. It makes drama more intense. That's why, like, the most dramatic things are the things that you don't know what's happening. It's like it's all quiet and there's mystery behind it. The more mystery and the more silence there is, the more drama there is. That's true in stories and that's true in life. Listen in there. Again, you cannot you don't stop drama by silencing people because there's still stuff going on in their heads. There's still conversations going on when you're not there. You have to actually address things. If you are using threats, if you are using violence, if you are using all of this malicious malarkey to keep people silent, if you're not actually dealing with an issue and you're just forcing people to be silent so that you can keep on doing as you're doing, that's a dictatorship. That makes you a tyrant. That's totalitarianism. And that's not cool. Socratic method. Descartes' 12 tenets for critical thinking. Daniel Dennett's 4 rules for, a charitable, successful critique / commentary thing. Like, and those are all word-based. Those are all just, all right, look at each piece of information and analyze the crap out of it. Seth Godin actually blogged this recently. He said the thing you're not talking about is now 2 problems. As, like, he's saying that to say, it's like, you have this problem, and now because you're not talking about it, the fact that you're not talking about it is a problem, because the problem doesn't go away. The problem's still there. When you're worried about some people being too good to be true, you're going to, when you're actually worried about that being an option, something being too good to be true, you're also going to look for those diamonds in the rough. You're going to look for, to give the benefit of the doubt, to think the best of something that isn't quite perfect because you want to give it a chance, because it's so much more heartbreaking when something good turns out to be too good to be true, and so much more gratifying when something that doesn't seem totally kosher turns out to be really great and brilliant and wonderful and just what you always wanted. The psycholinguistic indicators are there. Silence is the tool of tyrants. Tweet that shit. Silence is the tool of tyrants. I'm very upset right now. Very, very freaking upset. The double dose of Chad was supposed to end things all, Chad. I am on #Team Jojo, and I am not pleased. No problem solved.